Greetings. Welcome to the Fire Path. This is Pathworking. As I've said before, it is intended to be watched or listened to while you are in a stable position, such as sitting or lying down on pillows, the floor, a comfortable chair, etc. Do not ever watch or listen to this while driving a motor vehicle of any kind or while bicycling or walking. Now, before we start, think back to the air path. Do you remember the room you started out in? It had the comfortable chair you found yourself in, and the window with the shelves holding the items you got. That will be the starting point for this path, as well as the water, earth, and spirit full paths. It will be filled in as you work your way through the path workings. But remember that it is yours, and that it will always be as you visualize it. And by way of inspiration, in the words of Sarah McLachlan, into the fire I'm reunited. Into the fire I am the spark. Now let's begin. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and hold it for a count of 2. When you release it, let it all out. Do this one more time. You are seated in your comfortable chair in the center of your room facing south. The south wall has a fireplace now. The hearth is laid ready, but not yet lit. In front of you is a table which bears a single lit candle. Study the candle closely. Look at the different colors within the flame. Breathe easily and allow yourself to be drawn into the flame. You feel the temperatures as you drop through the colors, but it does not affect you. Dropping down through the red outer layer, you see and feel the colors changing into orange and finally into white. Feel the flame within yourself burning bright and hot in response. You are the light of a single candle in the darkness, a symbol of hope. Let it expand and it becomes a campfire with 2 campers sitting before it. They are content with the company of each other and their place in the world. There is a canopy of starfires above. Marshmallows are being toasted after what was probably a satisfying fire-cooked dinner. Expand it yet again. Now it is Beltane bonfire, fanning the desires of the people dancing wildly around it. You see couples breaking away from the crowd and heading off together into the night. You know that the babies conceived this night are believed to be special and holy. Expand it again and it is a raging forest fire, galloping through trees and grass, devouring everything in its path. Animals race in front of it in the hopes of outrunning the flames. Nothing can stand before it. Cabins in its way quickly turn into charred remains, and trees become piles of ashes and burnt stumps. As fierce and seemingly random as this may seem, if you could move yourself forward through time, you would see the new growth that springs from the remains of the old. Wildflowers and seedlings glistening with dew in the light of the morning sun, and alive with the promise of what may come. Now bring it down and under control. It is a harvest fire, roasting meat and cooking vegetables for all that come. It is the last celebration before the circle turns and winter descends upon the land. Bring it down again, and it is a hearth fire, warming a home with light and the promise of love. A family sits around it, reading, talking, and simply taking comfort in the presence of each other. Bring it down once more, and it is a single lantern flame, standing against the darkness and lighting the way for a lone pilgrim moving towards an unknown destination. Know that you have your own spiritual quest to follow. Close your inner eyes briefly, and when you open them again, you are on the edge of a vast desert. Padding across the desert is a winged lion with a mane that appears to be on fire. The lion stops a few feet from you and regards you with a knowing gaze. He begins to walk north, with a glance behind him to see if you are following. Hoping that soon you will be out of the desert heat, you begin to follow. Sooner than you thought possible, you crest one final dune and see the desert below you end abruptly in the lush grass of the glade that contains your altar. As you walk towards the altar, you look to the lone tree in the east, expecting to find the eagle there, still perched. But it is not. Looking up, you see the eagle doing what comes naturally, flying free on the winds. Looking back to the south, you see two people striding out of the desert towards you. They carry between them a fired clay basket which contains items associated with fire. Knowing their intentions now, you begin to take the ones that speak to you of fire and arrange them on your altar in the south. With everything settled to your liking, one of the two reaches once more into the basket and hands you an oil lamp. It is beautiful, designed exactly as you would have if you had been responsible for its making. It appears to be empty, however. Go ahead and place it on your altar. As you set it down, the lion approaches it, and a small ashim, a fire elemental that looks like a dancing flame, leaps from the mane and perches itself where the flame should be. The tiny creature seems delighted with your surprise and dances happily in place. You realize that this is a perfect solution, a lamp that requires no oil, no wick, no tending. When you turn back towards the two people, they turn and walk back southward into the desert. A few yards into it, they seem to shimmer and fade, like waves of heat rising from a surface on a summer's day. Take one final look around. Face your altar. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to settle back into the room and your comfortable chair. The hearth is lit now, and if you look closely, you can see a few ashim playing in the flames. Some of the items you took from the emissaries of fire are arranged around it. To your left, through the eastern window, you can see two birds of prey courting in the air. The breeze coming through the window gently fans the flames on the hearth. Settle back into the chair. Close your eyes and let yourself come back down to the physical plane. Come back to the ordinary world now. Begin to become aware of where you are sitting, aware of your own body and the things going on around you. Remember to stretch before trying to move. Now, as with the path of air, I have a few questions for you to consider. What items associated with fire did you pick? What does your oil lamp look like? What do you consider the relation between fire and air to be? I rewrote this completely for the book. In 1988, there was a large fire in Yellowstone National Park. At the time I started writing the book, the burned areas had started the cycle of regrowth. You can see how this affected me as I wrote this Pathworking. It is almost entirely original in words and concept, save for the final section, which is from my tradition. As always, bright blessings, and may the element of fire always provide you the spark of passion for life. Mark Silver out, for now.